Well, hello, and welcome to your Choice Day Tuesday dose of body mind medicine. And if you are looking and feeling as exhausted and just at your end of your tether, if you're feeling triggered or you're frazzled right now, I can totally relate, and you are in the right place because I want you to really honor and embrace the energy of peace and allow compassion to warm your heart. Because with that energy, we can constantly stay in this remembering that we do have the power, we do have the resources to generate a little peace of mind and more flow today and every day. And a good way to do that is to get your anchor, your power animals to support you, uh, your energy body, your body Deva's highest self, your team players, as they call them, and also to learn to really set healthy boundaries right now. And where armadillo came through for me, I actually got a call from a very old colleague of mine who's called today to ask if I could do a distance healing on a rescued armadillo. For those of you that don't know, the illegal trade in armadillo is huge, and it's wiping out the population to supply an ever-growing demand of traditional Chinese medicine, which is not very helpful. It's like rhino horns, right? It's keratin. It has no medicinal or magical properties to create more virility in men or all the other crazy stuff. And armadillo is under that same threat. But as a side note, just know, and this is really the message that I got from this incredible armadillo who had been put in a sock and thrown in to go into the export trade for body parts. And his message to me was to trust that you're entering into a space where, in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life to live into your legacy, you may have to be more discerning and say no to many things that may have been okay for you in the past, but are not anymore. And a big shout out to Lola Javita, a friend of mine in America, who's just been an incredible support for me over the years. And as always, my clients become my dear friends, because it's like a remembering. We're finding each other again as women that were maybe burnt on the stake for being witches or stepping into our medicine. And again, armadillo medicine and the medicine that we got from those two incredible lion gods yesterday for the weekly forecast. If you haven't listened to it, please go back and listen to it again. But just know that the messages are, you can't make this stuff up. When you ask for what you are wanting, or if you are asking for support in certain challenges that you're going through. Hi, Debbie and Allison. Lovely to see you here. And Thaling. Just remember that you have to be willing to listen and receive the information that's coming into you, and then to take aligned action, to put your intention into motion. And again, this is what armadillo teaches us, that when where you end, we need to learn. This is mine. This is my piece of the red thread that I'm pulling on. And your thread is your thread. And that we are in this beautiful ebb and flow together to know what is ours to hold and what is not. So know your limits, and you will start to understand that it's a very empowered choice to say no to what doesn't feel right. And that really is the medicine of armadillo, to say, it's my time now and I'm having it. Or maybe I need to push pause and slow things down and have it for myself before I put it back out into other people. So you have to be really clear about what you're agreeing to, what contracts and oaths and vows have you held in place, and where do you need to declare really with a very fierce demand on what your needs are, what you are asking for support of, and say no as a full sentence. These are those acts of respect and kindness to others as well as to ourselves. And we need to trust in our body's innate intelligence to follow our body's natural impulses to either move toward or to move away from things that are not in alignment with your living legacy. And we've got to ground, every choice point, every decision that is in the highest vibrational frequency of a win-win for everybody. We need to be grounded into a strong sense of trust, and also of what belongs to us and what is not for us to change. And I think that's the biggest love act that you can give to anybody else, including yourself, is to say, I may not agree with what you're choosing, and I'm not going to stand in your way. Advice for me is abuse, unless it's coming from a place of loving allowance, of saying, choose what you need to choose. And if and when you need me, and my daughter, my growth partner, reminds me of this all the time, I'll be here to catch you when you need a place to be able to rest and be peaceful. And this is really this energy that is amplifying as we kind of get shaken awake. And I spoke about this Chiron energy, this eruption of forces that are at play right now that are very unforeseen, but the waves of change are very visible in other ways. And we're being asked to elevate out of these old patterns of abuse. So my question to you is, what are you going to choose today that is going to keep you in intentional motion, an aligned, laser-focused precision to make sure that you are not bumped off your path to live into your legacy? My friend Matthew Peters speaks of these 3 types of living, and I kind of sum it all up, that most people are protecting a life or defending a life that they're not living. They're slowly dying inside, and I've been there, and I'll probably go there many, many more times over. But I'm just so grateful that I have a very full toolbox of energy medicine and trauma resolution and the support of the animals that have really taught me how to be human. But ask yourself, are you living a dim future where you've kind of given up, that learned helplessness, that ambivalent or avoidant stance that you're taking, where you're just kind of going, this is my lot in life. I have no control over it. I don't have any choices available to me? Or are you living a bright future where you're kind of like, you're keeping up with the Joneses, but you know that something's a little bit off and you just don't know how to access that part of you? Or are you living into your brilliant, your diamond brilliant future? Because it's something that we have in common as a species, is that every single one of us, in our state of human beingness, being full of ourselves, being willing to take risks, being willing to get knocked off course and get back up again, is the desire to make a difference, to know that we matter, to live a legendary life, because we're all born of the big dream that they speak to, and I speak to a lot in sort of walking this shamanic path, the spiral path. We're born in the big dream. And if we're going to change, then we have to look at the creation of our stories and take the wisdom of shamanic people in this great timeless, spaceless mystery void, right? That 0 point field where they dreamt things into being for us to be able to live the lives we're living now in a good way. But we also have to know that from the big dream came fire and ice, yin and yang. And as our ancestors continued to dream the world into being as we know it, it was manifest. And those sort of legendary lovers, the dreamers, took that form of earth and sky. And we are the ancestors of future generations that have not been born yet. And it's our responsibility to be very, very aware of the choices that we're making. Because when we're able to release those vows and oaths and fealties and communities and binding and bonding contracts and unconscious thought patterns and places where we're trying to make lies true, including the places where we need to release our parents and the small story of our personal childhood with all of its beauty and all of its suffering, that's when we reclaim our sovereignty. That's when we access our true nature. That's when we make a bigger impact in the world and live into our legacy. Not after we've died, but now, while we're still breathing in this precious life of ours. And then we can take the earth as our true mother and the sky as our true father. And it is that initiatory act of surrender and release where we get to step into our true family, the family that I have been calling forth and asking to return to me for many, many years, ever since I did the Courageous, Confident, Inspired Woman Summit. And it's going on probably 6 years now since that. Every person that comes into my life, I am so grateful for, because there is a remembering of and a familiarity of, I know you, I see you, I honor you. What can we co-create in this life together? Because we've done it for so many lifetimes before in a good way. And maybe we've done it in past lifetimes where we were the persecutors or the betrayers of the feminine. So it really is that time as we sort of enter into the solstice that is coming on the 21st of the 12th. And also tomorrow, the 12-12, the amplification of the 12-12 energy. They're mirror opposites that are bringing us into a new way of being in this new 5D reality of oneness, where we are being, it's not even gentle anymore. It's this demand to show up in our truth, to stop playing on the surface and go deep. And that if we're going to engage that and activate this divine blueprint of love, which to me is the only way to create an abundant future, you have to be your own lover first. For your legendary life, you have to consort with the beings of legend and light and stop and let go. Remember, we talked about sacrifice yesterday with the lion gods. Let go of the sort of dim future or the bright future where you have mediocre expectations, where you'd rather play safe, play small, than reach within the passion of that which lights you up, the fire in your belly that says, rise up like the phoenix out of the ashes. Reclaim what is yours to take. And always keep looking for a win-win. You have that memory in your heart brain. It's never left you. We're the ones that leave because we're constantly head tripping. We're not in our bodies. We're in our heads. And we're being called with that armadillo medicine of today, with the lion gods showing up yesterday, and that element of camouflage from the lioness on the weekly forecast. Where are we out of harmony? Right? Balance is not a still point. Balance is not a flat line. And we've misconstrued balance as being that. The dim future, the bright future. It's a flat line. It's not living into our legacy. So breathe in the crystalline plasma light codes that are available right now to activate those dormant soul DNA pathways within the Merkabic body light. Right? Your light body is always there. And the 12-12, the 12-21, that gateway is totally lining you up to live into your legacy or to ignore it and carry on the way that you have been doing. And the choice is yours. There's no judgment there. But what is it costing you? What is it costing those that you love to stay where you are? in those lower 3D densities rather than into your pure potentiality, your infinite possibilities. Because this is the power moment that we're coming towards. And I think why maybe we've been shaken up, not and stirred. I think I've had a bit of both over the last couple of days. But we are connecting with the 12 dimensions of light, the 12 DNA strands, the 12 codes of Metatron in geometry, the 12 phi harmonics, and the 12 tribes of the great central sun. This is lion-hearted leadership that is there saying, choose and prepare, educate, train, momentum, consistency, alignment, integrity. All of those words are part of what we have been engaged in for the last, I think, since 2009, to take the leap, the quantum leap to this next level on your soul's ascension plan. And to remember too that we all are enough. We have the courage and the resilience. We are enough to be able to hold space and to witness and create, co-create through our own medicine, our own unique capacities and talents. We are part of this evolutionary change if we choose it. But we cannot create transformation if we're not aligned to our highest, greatest living legacy. That's how we're going to create abundance in a new world, not just for ourselves, but in the interconnectedness of all of it, where we're honoring our own I am presence, our own birthright, what we were born into. Willingly, we made the choice to reincarnate. So we can't kick life in the face and say, I'm going to just play small. I'm going to dim my light. I'm going to be mediocre. None of us came in here to be mediocre. That's just apathy. That's just programming. And there are layers and layers and layers of it. And as you do the work and you shed the old, there's always more. I think this is a constant journey. It certainly is for me. But be courageous. Bring in your power animal to help move you out of those false realities of fear. False evidence appearing real, I think, is the acronym. And create anyways. It's very powerful, and it's actually very simple. So wherever you find yourself today, hi. It's so good to see you all here. Ask yourself, how are you going to hold space to live into your legacy beyond regret, beyond doubt, beyond shame, but in the true spirit of giving, which is intention. Express your life, stand in your truth, because you can nurture it by your continual ongoing expectations of an infallible spiritual law of increase that is being a part of your life. But when you can see through that imaginary capacity, and we talked about the power of imagination in the futuring a couple of days ago, does it make sense that you're going to automatically increase your vibrational frequency into these higher realms? And we're going to start tuning in, become attuned to the unseen worlds, where we can receive the guidance and the wisdom of our ancestors in human and non-human form that came before us. And just express it in pure love, energy, and motion. Love whatever arises, even if you don't think you do or you can. Just simply trust. Trust your ability to just know the universe has your back, that your spirit guides are with you, that your team players are cheering you on. And it's up to you to use the power of choice for the greater good of all, or to stay stuck in the dim future. So that is what I invite you into this week, as I continue also to just deepen into that contemplation of what am I being called into, and where am I willing to let go of the false illusion that I have any control over it, and stop resisting. And maybe you want to ask yourself that too. And while you're doing so, be gentle with your soft animal body that knows exactly what it needs to do to keep you alive and vibrant and safe. And that it's the mind that's taken you away from trusting your intuition. That's what I love about working with animals. Horses are such incredible teachers. All animals are there to show us how to live present. So contemplate the energies of what is your living legacy going to look like? What do you want your life to look like moving forward beyond 2019, in the spirit of love and beauty and kindness and compassion and empathy? Because every action that's in harmony with that originating principle of intention, aligned co-creation, is going to give you an expression to own your power and use your intention in a good way. And I hope that you've joined me in that space. And I would love, love, love to know what your insights and awareness are around this sort of time, as we move into that 12-12 energy tomorrow, and the portal on the 21-12, and into a new year. Because we can't do this on our own anymore. We're not wired to be alone. We're wired to give of our own gifts and our own unique capacities and talents, just like our ancestors did as medicine women and shamans and shapeshifters, to use the alchemy of being in these bodies to be the change. We are the change we've been waiting for. So stop waiting and get into alignment and start creating. And please post in the comments below. I'd love to know what are you committing to as you go forward in this week and this month and into a new year. Where are you going to use your voice in a powerful way as a truth teller, as an alchemist, to shape shift and transmorph and transmute these lower vibrational frequencies that we're all pretty concerned about, because it's in our faces now. It's not hidden anymore, where we're being called to change and use our small but precious life, because there is an impermanence on how long we'll stay in these little body suits, to choose now, not later. And I love you. I see you. I honor you. I'm off to feed my family. And my bed is calling, because my body has been pumping out incredible amounts of cortisol for the last 2 days, because I was totally in that crazy place of survival. That lower rung of Maslow's theory really kicked in for me yesterday. And I'm feeling it. I look tired. But I hope that this has been helpful. And I'd love to know what's happening in your life, and also what you'd like me to speak more of, to speak more to over the next couple of days, as we sort of head into this 12-12 energy. And I'll meet you there. All right. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.